So hello everybody and welcome back to another new vlog. I've come back to Sutton Park again today because I really wanted to kind of have a go at using a new lens that I've got. But before I get into the video and show you what I'm doing, please remember to like, subscribe, share and make as many comments as you like. I really like to hear from you all and see what you've got to say about this video. Getting into the video proper, I'm actually using my Canon EOS 600D, which I think you can see just there, and I'm using that with a Holga lens attached to it. Now this is only a very cheap Holga lens that you can see just on the front of the camera just there. It's only a very cheap Holga lens, and I'm kind of really impressed with it because I didn't realise I would get such interesting shots out of it. I've just tried one shot out. Just behind me there's a scene which I quite liked. Let me see if I can walk over here so I can show you what the scene is. Just here there's obviously a pond just behind me, and I like the ground here just in front of the pond, and I want to capture a picture here. I've got a tree here this side and I've got a tree stump over this side, and basically I'm using those to create the framework for the image. Those two trees won't actually appear in the image, but in the water just past this tree there's another tree sticking out into the water which leads the eye to a path at the far end of the pond just over there. So what I'm trying to do is frame that up in a way where I can capture this image with the Holga lens. The Holga lens is an interesting one on its own. It's only very cheap, but it's a brilliant lens, and the trouble with it is that it doesn't have any aperture on it at all. So basically I just have to set the camera up and try and see if I can find the composition and use the focus ring on the lens to see if I can get the perfect composition, and then once I've done that I then also have to literally just take a photo. I can still use the shutter speed settings, but other than that I can't actually change the aperture, so it's kind of a difficult process, but it's an interesting one, and I'd like to show you some of the images as I go through this vlog. I have come back to a spot where I was a few weeks ago, quite simply because I wanted to recapture a panorama of this tree here, a slightly different one this time. The reason I did that is I really want to test out the quality of the lens that I'm using, this Holga lens. It's quite an interesting one because obviously I can't actually do any auto focusing. I've just got a manual focus and hope for the best. But also, one other thing I wanted you to know, this video footage that you are watching at this moment is all being filmed on my Canon EOS RP, and the reason I'm doing that is because I normally film everything using my Canon EOS 600D, but obviously I can't do that today because I'm using that to take the photos. And the reason I'm using that to take the photos is because the Holga lens that I've got doesn't fit on the RF mount of the EOS RP. It only fits on the EF mount, or the EFS mount in this case. So I've had to switch over to using the EOS RP as a film camera for today, and that's kind of interesting as well. So let's see how we get on with these. Well, I've literally walked about 150 yards from where I last was. As you look behind me just there's a scene that kind of plays out behind me with all of these trees in the distance, and I kind of like the way they all sort of seem to relate to one another, and they kind of frame this little bit of road here going through the middle of them. So I've been here before and shot this image before. I decided I was going to shoot a panorama of this because the little Holga lens that I have doesn't have any zoom range on it at all. It's probably similar to a 50mm lens, to be honest, and it really wasn't very easy to get the right shot, so I had to shoot a panorama. Whilst I've been in this location though, I've suddenly found it's become a little bit like Euston Central Station here. When I arrived here just 10 or 15 minutes ago, there was nobody around, nobody at all, and in the time that I've been here it's been walkers, cyclists, skateboarders, joggers, just generally people wanting to be in this area all at the same time, and I can't quite work out why. One minute it was dead quiet and there was nobody around, and then suddenly everybody wanted to be here. But I suppose that's one of the dangers really of landscape photography in a public park. But never mind, I don't mind having people walking past, it just means I take a little bit longer to take my photos. Anyway, I'm going to move on and see what else I can get now. There's an SCurve in the path behind me that I want to capture here. I'm not sure if you can see it very well on this image, on this video footage. At the moment it looks as though it's just quite straight going up behind me here, but then it does kind of curve off to one side as you go further along, and you can kind of see that in the composition that I've got here. So I'm going to set up here and try and capture a shot of that. What I'm finding is I'm having to stand quite a long way away from the composition because there's absolutely no zoom on that lens at all. So I'm kind of really making things difficult for me by using it, but it's an interesting way of being creative with shooting. So I'm going to carry on and persist with it anyway and see if I can get a couple more shots before I finish. So I think I've got one more image that I'd like to try. On my way here, before walking into this woodland, I came in via a different route than I have done before, and just at the beginning of that route I discovered some very interesting gnarly tree roots. So I'm going to pop back there and see if I can capture a shot there. The good news is there's quite a wide space around them, so it may make it easier for me to capture those tree roots with this lens. So I'm going to give it a try anyway, and this will probably be the last image of the day, so I hope you like it. I found my gnarly tree roots just here right behind me on the end of the path, so I'm going to set up here, take a shot of those. Obviously I need to stand quite a way back to capture this because of the little lens that I've got, but it's quite an interesting afternoon's work, this one. I've enjoyed myself. So that's it for today's vlog then, folks. I hope you like the images, and if you've enjoyed watching me capture a load of out of focus images, then please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think of the images, and I will see you again on another video very soon. Bye for now.